Good afternoon, grade 11s. Welcome to the LO lesson for today. Good afternoon, grade 11s. Welcome to the LO lesson for today. Sorry about that hiccup. My name is Puleng Litika and I'm your LO teacher for the duration of the lockdown. On the screen are my contact details, and that is my address, my email address. It is litikapuleng@yahoo.com, and that is the email that you can reach me with. You can speak to me about anything with regards to LO, any clarity that you need. And just remember that you can give me a shout about anything really that you want to speak to me about. So remember yesterday we were still doing human rights and democracy. So today we're carrying on with human rights, democracy and human rights. We're still on chapter 7. We on chapter 17, unit 1. So yesterday we were talking about the different religions. Today we're going to go into the single religions and look at how every single one of them is contributing towards us having a harmonious society. So contribution of diverse religions and belief systems to a harmonious society and your belief system. So it is a continuation from yesterday. So the lesson objective for today is that you know how diverse religions and belief systems contribute to a harmonious society. So we will be looking at different religions and seeing how they contribute towards us having a harmonious society. So the first religion we're going to look at is Christianity. So Christianity is by far, I think, the biggest religion in the world, even though Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. But a lot of people, like millions or billions of people, are Christians worldwide. So Christianity contributes to a harmonious society by promoting love and respect. We also spoke about that yesterday, how Christianity promotes love and respect. So the Ten Commandments are there and are clear laws on how to behave and live together in society. So the Ten Commandments have those rules: thou shalt not, the famous thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's wife, thou shalt not steal. So those are laws that you follow, and then honor your mother and your father so that your days may be long, or so that God can add some days into your life. So basically, those are the commandments, and the whole Bible advocates for peace and love. You know, the greatest commandments, or to sum up the commandments, all you have to do is love. So there are many variations of Christianity, such as Catholic, Protestant, Anglican, and Methodist, and they all share a common message of peace and love. So all these different denominations, we call them denominations of churches, though they interpret the Bible differently, but they all share a common message of peace and love at the end of the day. So now looking at African traditional religion. African traditional religion is the indigenous religion of many African people. The religion has been passed on from one generation to the next. It is practiced by millions of people in South Africa. The traditional religion promotes harmony, social and environmental justice, love, forgiveness, reconciliation, balance, and an understanding of earthly and heavenly matters. So basically, like coming into the 2000s and the late 90s, there was this thing that African people have moved away from their traditions and their culture, and they have now modernized or become these urban people. But right now, lately, we've seen that African people are again starting to embrace their culture and embrace their tradition, and they're starting to see that there is a place for their tradition and their culture in today's world, that they can our culture does contribute in a positive way towards the world that we live in. For instance, there are principles like Ubuntu, that we help one another. You are because I am. So those are principles that we share in our culture, and that can help us on a daily basis. That nobody is an individual, no one is an island. Basically, we are all a community, and we should help each other. And there are principles like it takes a village to raise a child. So we know that grooming, a child and grooming society starts off by us taking care of our children together, and us knowing that your child is my child, and then basically we all working together to raise our children to be better people. So there are different principles really, and different uh, uh, proverbs and different stories that we get told that are passed down from one generation to another that do help us in a way. So traditional religion promotes harmony, so living together harmoniously and socially, just it improves our relations to each other because we just living with this principle that we should depend on one another and that no one is an island. So here are a few bullet points. African traditional religion is based on. So this is what African traditional religion is based on: a communal way of life. So a communal way of life is a life where everybody is a society together. We form one. We are a unit. So no one is an individual. So no one is just pursuing something on their own that doesn't help the next person. So everything is just closely knit together. Our ecosystem is closely knit together, and one is dependent on others. So ancestors and ancestral worship, where you seek guidance. So basically, we do have people connecting with people who have passed on, and that's where they seek guidance. They go and ask about the future or the present, what they should do and what they should not do. And then that's where some people find solace, where some people are comforted. Maybe they get closure to by going to see your mother or your father who has passed away. Then you get closure and you can move on. So that creates a place that makes a person to be more holistic and to be in a better place, where you know that you're one, you're being guided, and that you have found closure. So belief in a creator. African culture does believe in a creator, that there is a someone who is above your ancestors, and that your ancestors are basically they are a channel to speak to God. You go to God through your ancestors. So they are, I'm looking for the word mediator. Your ancestors are a mediator between you and God. So kinship as a basic organizational yes principle. So kingship is your chiefs, your kings, your advisors, the women advisors, that structure, that is a structure that we live by, that keeps our communities where we can go to the king, or rather you wouldn't go directly to the king, you go to a chief who is there to solve all your problems with your neighbors, your domestic problems, or your problems in the market. So there's someone allocated there to solve issues. Then maybe if the issues can't get solved, then that is then that they go to the king. So everything is organized from going out, who goes out to hunt, and who goes out, who like makes the decisions in the family. Maybe it's the uncle who makes the decisions in the family. So everything is organized. And then performance of rituals such as rites of passage at birth. So a rite of passage at birth would be receiving the child into your family, giving the child a name. Maybe the child might be named after a grandmother or a grandfather, so as to appreciate the presence of that person, or the life that person lived, and the impact that person had in your life, or to continue with the birth surname and to continue with that person's legacy. Rite of birth, a rite of passage at birth also like welcomes the child into the family from maybe the mother's side to the father's side, where they give the child the surname officially and connects them to the other elders of the family and ones that have passed away. And then becoming an adult. So this is when you move from being a child to being an adult. Maybe you turning from 19 to 20, or from 20 to 21. So you are being taught how to behave, and as an adult you're being taught how to be responsible. You get given advice. So maybe there will be a ritual or a ceremony that takes place, and they are teaching you now that you need to take care of yourself and you need to be more responsible and be careful about the choices that you make. If you're a girl, they'll tell you how to take care of yourself, and if you're a boy, they'll also tell you how to behave too. So everyone, if there will be tailor-made advice for everyone who gets involved in a ritual or a ceremony. For instance, in marriage too, the makoti, when they get home, when the woman gets to the husband side of the family, they will welcome them. And then maybe even before the marriage, while you're doing the lobola negotiations, the families will meet, and then they'll have discussions about how the different cultures can meet, how they can go about combining and joining the two families. So obviously, lobola is not just going to be about paying a huge chunk of money or just trade or selling the woman to the husband. It's not about bartering or being in a market where you sell another human being. It's about joining the two families together so that you start a new tribe, you start a new family together, something joined, and it's the birth of something new. And then death too. So there are rituals with regards to death, how you just leave things behind and how you start things afresh. So how you mourn, the washing or the cleansing, that cleans you so that you can move forward in a more peaceful manner and that you're not haunted. So these are the things. And then cleansing rituals such as slaughtering of cattle and goats. So I don't think it's just cleansing only, but slaughtering again is more up, also more about Thanksgiving and just appreciating your ancestors for whatever you've gotten, whether you've passed or whether you've graduated or whether you've just found a new job. Or yes, cleansing can also be to ask for luck too. Maybe you're going to an interview or you're going overseas, you want to get protection. So whatever really asking your ancestors for. And then basically, African tradition does contribute to making you the person that you are. And if you do practice African traditional principles like Ubuntu, like it takes a village to raise a child, and the other the other principles that are African, then you will be a person that lives in peace with others. If you follow a communal way of life, you will know that we are interdependent as people. And then moving on to the next religion, which is Islam. Uh, when you follow the religion of Islam, then you are a Muslim. So Islam contributes to a harmonious society by preaching peace, compassion, racial harmony, and love. We know that by, even when they greet each other, they say Assalamu alaikum. So Assalam means peace. So you know what? That is the sharing of peace, and that it's a spreading of peace around, and the principle of peace. It is a peaceful religion, and when they greet each other, they're just extending the peace to the next person and making sure that that is the environment that they create, and that is the environment that they choose to be in. So the Quran teaches that all races are equal, so meaning it discourages racism. It guides its followers in every aspect of their lives to be good citizens. I know that it is against abusing alcohol. It is against abusing your woman. It is against just hating the next person. It's about spreading love. So it is a way of life. So it does alter your behavior and encourage good morals and good values. So according to the Quran and Holy Prophet Muhammad, all Muslims should try and have these qualities. They should try to be honest at all times. They should be patient. They should be forgiving. They should be kind. They should be cheerful. And then they shouldn't be selfish. They should do charitable works, and be they should consider others and have respect for them. They should be sincere, and you should do what you say you will do, meaning you must keep your promise. So you're not gonna promise something that you're not gonna do, so you must follow through. So that is Islam's contribution towards us having a harmonious society. And then Judaism contributes to a harmonious society by urging all Jews to follow God's commandments. So they do have similar commandments as what they have in the Bible. As you know that I think the Torah, the Jewish holy text, is like, if I'm correct, the first 5 chapters of the Bible. So they do have the same commandments. So I hope it's the right number of chapters that I've called. So basically, Jews focus more on this life than the next. So they concentrate on the life that they're living now. So they need to be good people now. They need to do good things now. They need to be exemplary people now, because in they they only get to be good people here. In the next life, then this life has passed away, and the next life promises new things. So they can't go back to change what they have already done. So it's best to be a good person and be a loving and kind person right now. So this means you must live your life on earth ethically, as you will not get another chance to live on earth. So you only get to live on earth once, and you're not coming back, so you might as well live ethically. So reaching out to those in need is central to being Jewish. So these are charitable works. According to Judaism, it is unjust and even illegal for Jews not to give money to the poor, hospitals, and educational institutions. Jews have a mandate to improve the world in which they live by doing good deeds. So basically, Jews or Judaism encourages Jews to be a good example in society and to give whatever they have and to share whatever they have with people who are in need, with people who are less fortunate. So they will play a role in making sure that they work on developing people and that they work on growing people and that they make sure that everyone is equal and everyone receives the warmth that they should get. So the Baha'i faith. So yes, I read up on this in your textbooks. So yes, the Baha'i faith aims to promote harmony in society. So they're all about creating harmony and creating oneness and a flow in society. Cultural integration. So this is the mixing together of people, diversity, seeing similarities in each other instead of just differences, seeing that we are more alike than we are different. So that is cultural integration, religious tolerance, meaning you're not hateful towards the next person religion. You practice tolerance. So even though maybe you don't understand or you're not part of that person's religion, you're still going to show respect to them and you're still going to love them nevertheless because they are your fellow human. Unification of different cultures and business ethics through practical projects and actions. So these are things that they do, projects that they do in order to give back to society. They take part in businesses, they do business projects, and they do practical things to take part in the community and to be the light in the communities and in society, and just to bring a difference. Baha'i beliefs promote gender and race equality. So then there's no genderism, there's no patriarchy. So there's no women are more powerful than men, or or women are more needed than men. So both genders are important. Race equality. They don't believe that there is a superior race and they are inferior people. So everyone is treated equally. Freedom of expression and assembly. So people can express themselves however they want to. So which is good in our democratic society too. Okay, someone has their hand raised. Let's see what you have to say. Was it Ayanda? All right, Ayanda, was it Ayanda? Okay, speak to me.
I'm going to.
All right. Oh my gosh, I can't hear you properly. Speak to me. All right, there seems to be a problem there because now I can't hear you properly. I would have loved to hear you, Ayanda. I'm so sorry about the sound. It's so bad. But for those that have joined us, we're looking at how I see some people have now joined the class. We're looking at how different religions are contributing towards us having a harmonious society. So we've looked at Christianity, we've looked at traditional culture, like our traditional African religion. We have looked at Islam, and now we're looking at the Baha'i faith. So Baha'i beliefs promote gender and race equality, freedom of expression and assembly. So coming together, everyone is free to express themselves and everyone is free to come together. World peace and world government. So these are principles really that you need in order to have a good society. Believing in world peace means means that there'll be less world wars and less fighting between countries and less fighting between nationalities. And then world government, just having a harmonious governing body as the world, maybe whatever different kind of world governments there are, maybe the UN or the IMF or the whatever. So those are governing bodies, those are institutions that help out with world governance. So it's just encouraging that we work together as a world community, because that's what we are. We're all the human race and we're all interconnected in a beautiful way. So the Baha'i international community has been very active in promoting peace. Oh, sorry, you know what? Ayanda, can you please write a question for me in the chat? Please write a question for me in the chat, seeing as I couldn't hear you. So you can please just go to the chat box and then speak to me over there. All right. The Baha'i international community has been very active in promoting peace. The Baha'i followers put their beliefs into practice and are role models of peaceful living. So they do take part in making sure that there is peace. They are a voice. They do have a voice, a prominent voice in the international community. They promote peace, and in basically they are also role models. They've become role models, and we now see them as people who symbolize peaceful living. So moving on to the next slide. All right, there we go. Buddhism. So Buddhism is the religion that has the monks. All right. Buddhism has integrated many religious rituals, beliefs, and customs from many places as it has spread. So it's spread around the whole world right now. Buddhism is a belief system that is tolerant of all other beliefs or religions. So they are tolerant of all the other religions and all the other beliefs that are out there. So meaning they won't interfere with your beliefs. They're not trying to fight anybody. They are peacemakers. Buddhists believe that everything is interconnected. So whether it's objects or whether it's humans, so they believe that everything is interconnected. Therefore, we should live in harmony with each other and our surroundings, as everything we do affects things and people around us as well as ourselves. So this is about uh, having respect for one another, knowing that whatever I do will either directly or indirectly affect the people around me or the people that I love, or someone out there will either affect them. So there will always be a positive or a negative. So it's either you act positively or negatively, and when you act negatively, it impacts negatively on the people around you. So everything has repercussions and everything has after effects. So if you do something positive, then you will get a positive outcome. So yes, that is it. And then let us move on to the next slide. Move on to the next slide. Hinduism. The basis of Hinduism is the belief in the unity of everything called Brahman, and the purpose of life is to realize that you are part of God. So meaning you are part of God, you are part and parcel, you are one parcel with God. So and then everything is unified in the universe, and us on earth, us as human beings, we are all one. in all forms of life. So Hinduism sees the whole world as a single family that believes in one truth. Therefore, it accepts all forms of belief. Hindus practice non-violence and respect all life because divinity is believed to be in all beings, including plants and non-human animals. So basically, practicing non-violence is important and respecting all life because we're all equal and we all have a role to play and we're all special. So it is important that we treat each other with respect and with dignity. So yes, that will be it from the religion. So now we're going to clarify our own rules, clarify our own values and beliefs. So your beliefs and values are influenced by many people and things. You believe what your parents told you. So this is primary socialization. This is how you were raised. As you were growing up, what were the beliefs, principles, values, and norms that were instilled in you? All right, let me check. All right, good afternoon, Mandla. All right. So yes, your beliefs and values are influenced by many people and things. You believe what your parents told you. So like I said, it's how you're raised, it's what your parents told you, it's the things that they gave merit, the things that they encouraged, what they told you to do and also what they told you not to do. They said this is bad for you, this is good for you, it's good for you to pray, it's good for you to pray before you eat, and all the good things that they've taught you. And then you experience something that made you believe. So whatever your experience may have been, whether it was a miracle or whether it was you getting healed or you witnessing someone getting healed or someone getting better after counseling. Maybe you went to a pastor for counseling and then you got better. So, and then you've experienced the love maybe from other believers. They gave you love or they gave you some warmth. Maybe you didn't have food to eat, then they came and provided food for you to eat. Maybe they've supported you at school. Maybe you going through school through a bursary that is being paid for by a certain religion, and then maybe they've clothed you, they've fed, so they're supporting your mother or your father. Maybe your parents work at church or at a different religious institution, so you feel like they have contributed positively in your life. So then you will follow the religion, or your friends have influenced you. Maybe all your friends are Christians, or all your friends are Muslims, or all your friends are Hindu. So then they've influenced you, and that's good peer pressure, and that is now what you do. And then a role model has inspired you to adopt certain values. I know that some role models have, like, some very prominent people have come up and said what their belief systems are, and then people just follow them. For instance, Oprah, I think it was in the early 2000s or maybe the mid 2000s, came up and spoke up spoke about energies and karma, and what you put out there is what is going to come back to you. So if you want to experience something positive, you must be positive. You must contribute positively, things about the universe. And then that opened the door for a whole lot of people to look into that way of thinking. Maybe there was a certain book that had all these kinds of sayings, revelations, and was sharing all this kind of wisdom with regards to the universe, how it works, and the energies. So people started going for something more liberal and something that they feel was more open-minded, something that they can combine with their own religion without feeling like they being traditional or conservative. So prominent people can like influence people to adopt the values and the norms that they want that they practice themselves. So you did some research, gathered information, and believed the facts. So maybe you read up on something, maybe Scientology, you read up on some science, and you read up on what is it cosmology or the stuff about the universe, the planets, the stars, the whatever maybe stuff that is about numbers, things about names. So maybe you've read up on things like that and you decided, okay, I'm going to check out my star sign every month and see what this month has for me, as I believe that this is accurate, whatever I've read about my star sign. As a Libra or as a Leo, just I feel like very it's spot on. It's just who I am. It describes me very well. So whatever the religion you've gathered facts on or gathered information on, then that is the choice that you make. That okay, I chose to follow this because I believe that this makes sense to me. This is more factual. So that would be the end of our lesson for today. So what I'm gonna do is, because we've got a couple of minutes left, I just want you to know, I just want to ask if you're fine. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions before we leave? Anybody have any questions or want clarity before we go? All right. Okay, nobody has questions. So what I want you to do for me, we are close to finishing all the work that we're supposed to finish for the year. So please, if you have something that you want me to revise out of your whole school year, out of your syllabus, please get ready to tell me on, think about it. Then on Monday, you must come and write it for me in the chat box, or you can send me an email if you want to. So basically, go through your textbook and see the things that you don't understand and the things that you want me to cover, and then you'll come and tell me on Monday in our chat box so that we can cover them, because we're going to start with a revision because we are done. We are going to finish with the syllabus very soon. We are through. We're now doing term 3 work. We're right at the end of yes, we are resuming, Mandla. There will be school. Ma'am, yes, ma'am, isn't school resuming on Monday? Yes, there will be class. We will be having class forever and ever until the schools open, and maybe even beyond that. So I just want you to come up with questions and of things that you don't understand, things that we have covered, and things that you've covered at school from first term, the things that you need help with. Any chapter or any section, you're gonna tell me about it, and then we're going to go through it. All right? So thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye to everyone.